Hi all, you might have seen me claim that you only need one unified framework and understanding about human beings, which you can use for everything you do in your business when it comes to human beings. How do I dare to have such a strong claim? Well, I'm going to explain you it all here. Here on the screen, you can see um, a picture which describes the human functioning, the human fundamentals. This is based on an incredible framework and approach called the Human-Givens approach. Human-Givens approach is based on a few facts. First of all, that we all come into this world with a set of genetically programmed survival needs. These survival needs are in physical form and emotional form. In this picture, the lower bubble here, where the heart is in the center, that describes the physical needs, which we all need to get met in our life in order to survive, first of all. We need air to breathe, we need water to drink, we need nutritious food, we need some sort of shelter, place to work and place to live. We need to be able to move our bodies. We need to get our senses stimulated in a healthy, balanced way. And of course, we need sleep. And then the upper part that describes our mind and our emotional needs, psychological needs. The green part shows the basic emotional needs that we all have. Babies have them, children have them, elderly have them, teenagers and grown-ups. Every single human being have these same emotional needs, which they are just as essential, not exactly to our survival, but to our functioning, to our well-being, to our happiness, to our productivity, than the physical ones. We often know about the physical needs, but we don't tend to know about the emotional needs. But actually, when I go through them here with you, they are common sense. For each of them, you said, yeah, of course, makes sense. They all make sense. We instinctively know them because they are built in our biology, in our brain's wiring. We instinctively seek to get them met in our life. The brain instinctively seeks to get these needs met in our life. Once we become aware of them and once we understand the structure, we have this framework through which we can start looking at human beings, we come to realize that this knowledge, it indeed is the only thing we need when we want to start managing the human beings in our organization or the human beings we deal with, customers and suppliers, in a correct way, effectively. When we want to implement so-called human-centric company culture or human-centric operations. But in addition to these needs, these genetically programmed human needs, survival needs that we have, nature has also given us these incredible mental tools, which you can see in the middle of that upper bubble. We have these incredible mental tools in our brain, which enable us to get those needs met and enable us to be these intelligent human beings and as we are. Again, once we understand these mental tools that we all have, and once we understand that even if we all have the same mental tools, we are all differently enabled or able to use them. We all have a rational mind. Some of us are more rational, some of us are less rational. We all have imagination. Some of us are more imaginative, more creative than others. So when we understand these needs, which we all have, but which we all experience differently, we all need to get them met differently and in different measures. When we understand these mental tools we have, but which we all can utilize in a different way, we start understanding how we all differ, why we all differ. And most of all, we start understanding how can we create a work environment or home environment or just life for ourselves where we are actually well. And this Human-Givens framework states that When we get all our human needs met in a healthy, balanced way, we cannot be stressed. We cannot be anxious. We cannot be depressed. It is just against the law of nature. When an organism gets all its survival needs met, it is healthy. And this applies to human beings as well. So the thing what we start looking at is that we start looking at those human beings that we deal with and ourselves through the lenses of those human needs. And our main task is to create that environment, create that workplace where people get their emotional needs met. And of course, when we then start think about optimally utilizing people, we then start understanding and looking at their mental tools. What are they equipped to do? We shouldn't ask people to do things for which they are not equipped to do. And now I'm talking about these natural mental tools that we all have, but we all utilize them differently. We all have different strengths and weaknesses when it comes to our mental abilities. So this concept will help you with everything to do with human beings. It will help you if you want to work or improve or ensure that your employees have a good mental health. If you want to ensure that you have good mental health. Mental health comes from situations, conditions where the person gets all their human needs met in a healthy, balanced way. There are only 3 reasons why somebody wouldn't get their human needs met. One is that they work or live in an environment, in a sick environment, where whatever they do, they will not be able to get their human needs met. The second one is that, these incredible mental tools that we all have, some people have never learned to utilize them properly, use them optimally. Actually, many, if not most of our mental health challenges come from us actually misusing these incredible God-given gifts. We start using them against ourselves. That's where the problems come. So the second reason why people wouldn't get their emotional needs met is that they are misusing those tools which nature has given us to enable us to get our needs met. And the third one is that those inner resources, those mental tools, they are somehow damaged. It can be a physical damage to the brain, accidents or tumor or some genetic condition, or it can be the resources or our brain has been damaged because of, for example, poisoning or alcohol or drug abuse that damages our brain. And also those resources can be damaged through phobias, for example, because phobias change the way how the brain works, and we lose that optimized usage of our mental tools. And the last one is unhealthy conditioning. We have all conditioned certain things in our childhood throughout our life, and often those conditionings, they actually they don't enable or they stop us from getting our needs met because they changed. They normally bring wrong thinking into us, or then kind of phobic reactions to the world. But anyhow, so mental health can be addressed and improved by understanding this concept. Employee engagement is the same. When we look at these needs, you can see there that we all have a need to feel safe and secure in our environment, physically, emotionally, and financially. We all have a need to have a sense of control over what happens to us and around us. We all need to feel respected. We need to feel that we are valued, we are accepted, we are appreciated. We all need privacy or privacy. We all need time to switch off from the world. We all need time to kind of sit back and give time and space for our brain to basically process what's happening around us. We need that downtime, quiet time for ourselves. We are pack animals. We all need to have that sense of togetherness. And sense of togetherness or teamwork comes through 3 different things. A, that we have emotional connection with those people that we deal with who are in our life. Emotional connection means that we are in the safe wavelength as they are, and they are people we need to have at least one person in our life who we can trust, who we know that accepts us, warts and all, who we know protects us when need be. The second element here in the togetherness and teamwork is attention exchange. We need to be able to exchange attention equally so that I talk and you listen, and you talk and I listen. It's an equal relationship, equal exchange of attention. And the third one is that we need to feel that we belong. We need to feel that we belong to something outside of our immediate family. And of course, often it's work, but even inside the workplace, we need to feel that we belong. Either it's to our own kind of group or team, or then to the company or the function that we carry out. So those were the three elements that create that sense of togetherness and teamwork. And then achievement, competence and achievement. We really need to feel that we are competent, at least in one area of our life or our job, that we believe in our own capabilities. We know that we have skills that can be used, that are being utilized. And we need to have a sense of achievement every day. And I'm not talking about here achieving major, massive things. I'm talking about here that our brain needs to do tasks and get them complete so that we are doing things, little things, meaningful things every day. And sense of achievement comes for us when we feel like we are doing something useful every day. And the last one, but definitely not the least one, this is actually one of the absolute most important emotional needs that we human beings need in today's world. That is a meaning and purpose. We need to have a reason to get up. We need to have a reason to go to work other than money. Meaning and purpose comes again through three different sources. Meaning and purpose comes when we are being needed, when people need us, when we can help other people. Often it's, of course, family, but in a workplace, it's our colleagues. It can be our friends. It can be voluntary work, all sorts of things. But we have this innate need to be needed and help others. The second one is that we can stretch ourselves, either physically or then intellectually or mentally, so that we keep learning and developing ourselves or our whatever physical abilities they are through sports and exercise and so on. And the third one here is that we believe in and we commit to something bigger than ourselves. For some people, it can be religion. Some people, it's spiritual. Some people, it's just a movement or movement, for example, that they believe in, environmental, human rights, animal rights. It can be political movements. It can be anything, but they are things which basically they take us out of ourselves. And we really are kind of focusing on something bigger than ourselves. So if we think about these needs, these are these innate needs we all have. When we get these needs met in a healthy, balanced way, and the balanced way means that too much is just as bad as too little. They need to be met healthy, balanced way, or in a healthy, balanced way. So when a workplace provides those conditions, we are mentally well. When the workplace enables us all to get those needs met, that's where the employee engagement comes from. When we get those needs met, when we are well, when we are happy, we want to stay in that place. Employee retention goes up. Customer satisfaction, when we treat our customers in such way that they get their human needs met, they are happy, they are well, they trust us, customer satisfaction goes up. When we now understand these essential needs that we all have, diversity, equality, equity, and inclusion can be achieved by, again, utilizing this framework, regardless of who you are, what you are, where you come from. When I can create an environment where you get your emotional needs met, then that is the environment which is inclusive. Here we need to look at these mental tools as well, because again, when it comes to equality and enabling people to achieve the best possible level, we need to then understand that how do we need to equip people so that they are able to perform equally compared to other people. So again, we understand how people's mind works, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and we can then support people. And that's where the diversity, equality, and equity, they come from. We are inclusive because we make sure that whatever, well, everybody has the same needs, but whoever those people are, we meet their needs. We create a safe environment where they have certain control. They are always respected. They are always included in the teamwork. We give them the tools which enable them to achieve. We give them meaning and purpose, and we give them that headspace, and so on and so forth. DEI gets done. Productivity increases when, again, people get their human needs met. The door in this picture represents what I call the upstairs and downstairs of the mind, of the brain, kind of. When people don't get their human needs met, they have strong emotions, fears or angers or frustrations or so on. Basically, their fight or flight response reaction is activated. When that happens, that door gets shut down between the upstairs and downstairs. Upstairs being where those incredible mental tools are. Our human intelligence is up there in the upstairs. When we create this environment where people get their human needs met, people feel well, they feel at ease, their brain feels at ease, is at ease, and they have optimal access to their human intelligence. Productivity goes up. Cognitive performance, that very thing, the power of our mind, those mental tools, that goes up. Resilience improves because, again, we understand that resilience comes from us being able, us knowing how to get those human needs met, regardless of the outer conditions, and us being able to utilize our own mental tools in such a way that we can create the sense of safety and control and respect and so on and so forth. We can create that sensation inside us, even if the outside conditions are not necessarily providing us those needs. It makes sense. And then, of course, when we understand these needs, we can then move through change smoothly, effectively. We can assess the change impact by looking at how is this change impacting the way how I get my human needs met. That's where the real change impact comes from. And we can look at that, and now understanding the needs, understanding our mental tools, we can basically emotionally, psychologically, and practically, we can prepare for the change, we can adjust to the change, and we can then settle in those new circumstances much easier, much more effectively. Again, when we look at this picture and nothing but just this picture. I hope this explains the power of this concept, the power of this framework, because this really is one framework that can be used for absolutely everything and anything to do with human beings. Because at the end of the day, this is how we all function. We have these needs that we need to get met. We have these mental tools which enable us to get those needs met and live this life and do our work. And that is, once you understand this framework, all these doors open, everything starts making sense. And when this framework is being taught to your employees, to your managers, to your leadership, absolutely everybody talks the same language. Everybody uses the same terms. Everybody understands themselves and others in the same way. And this just creates this common language and common understanding, which is indescribably effective for your company. So contact me. I want to teach everybody in your company this framework and really help them understand themselves and others and the whole world through these lenses, through the lenses of this framework. Thank you for listening. Please let me know or contact me so that we can have a chat and I can tell you more about this, and we can have a look at how can this framework once implemented, really, really rocket your company to a totally different dimension when it comes to human beings and enables you to create this truly human-centric way of running your business. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.